Hi, I'm Otto, founder of Room for Manoeuvre. Room for Manoeuvre is an independent music company with a unique, disruptive mission to champion revolutionary artists using visual content while staying committed to a sustainable, carbon-neutral future. Competitive music companies don't have the presence on YouTube that they should be getting. Why? It's because they're treating YouTube like Spotify, often uploading music with a bit of cover art and maybe the occasional music video. In addition to this, the world has seen a huge rise in demand for cultural and environmental sustainability, and the music industry is no exception. A recent study found that the music industry alone contributes to 300 million kilograms of carbon emissions. Room for Manoeuvre is presenting music fans with an alternative model, a record label that pushes its visual content like no one else. Everything from live sets to collaborations to interviews and Q&As. Think NPR, but a record label. Not only does this give fans what they want, but it also helps to remove some of the more harmful sources of revenues that are currently plaguing the industry. I'll explain more about this later. So how are we going to do any of this? This is the Room for Manoeuvre. This is where we film everything from live sets to Q&As to collaborations and just generally come up with new and exciting ideas. So how do we know anyone's going to care about us? Let me explain. So, made it through the intro. Nice one. Room for Manoeuvre. Signing artists who know something the rest of us don't. So we are a record label that pushes its visual content like no one else. Everything from collaborations to live streams, to live sets and interviews. So a little bit about me. I am a professional musician and I've been playing gigs since the age of 12. So I have a really great understanding of music and also a really great understanding of what it means to make a band sound good live. I'm currently operating within the underground guitar music scene in London using my numerous contacts, and I'm also a music industry management BA honours graduate. So the music industry is incredibly exciting at the moment. Last year, the IFPI report reported an 18% increase in global recorded music market growth, a 24% increase in global streaming revenues, and 523 million users of paid subscription accounts. Now, in terms of the independent market, UK indie labels' share of streaming and physical rose for a third successive year in 2020 to just under 26%. In addition to this, independent music businesses' share of streaming equivalent albums has grown over each of the past 5 years. Now, this graphic from IFPI is demonstrating global recorded music revenues. As we can see, it's at all-time high at the moment. You can also see it in this red column that physical is on the rise. Now, this is incredibly exciting, as physical finds most of its success in the independent sector, which is where we will be operating. Now, of course, none of this success comes without its repercussions. This graphic is taken from a report by Julie's Bicycle, and it shows the recommended personal carbon budget being 2 tons of CO2 per year. Now, this is how much the average touring DJ emits per year, 35 tons of CO2. This needs to change, and this is where Room for Manoeuvre comes in. So, we are committed to doing things like no Room for Manoeuvre owned or operated vehicles, the office running through an air source heat pump instead of gas central heating, stuff like running our office through renewable energy, and after an eventual expansion, we are committed to fitting solar panels onto the roof of our office. Things like all sleeves from sustainably sourced carbon paper, No CDs released in plastic jewel cases. Research shows that the footprint of a plastic jewel case is 20 times that of a card-only sleeve due to its high manufacture footprint and the fact that it's difficult to recycle. Now, we also will be recording our carbon footprint using the Impala Carbon Calculator, and we'll be publishing this in yearly reports so everyone can see our progress and recommend what we can do better. So of course, whilst we work to continue on our reductions, our remaining impacts will be offset using tree planting and rainforest protection. Now, of course, all of this investment in sustainable operations costs a lot. That's why no one's doing it. So how are we going to offset these costs? This is where our visual content comes in. So just looking at live sets, not only will this be done in a sort of NPR tiny desk environment, getting artists to come in and do a live set, but we're also incredibly excited to explore the area of collaborations, getting two different bands to come in and jam together and work on something completely new. Q&As and interviews and live streams are also a massive part of our operations. So all of this will be based around our YouTube channel, in addition to Instagram content and TikTok content. All of this will create extra revenue, which will be used to offset the loss in revenue from investing in sustainable operations. So, utilization of foreign territories. Now, as a modern music company, we feel it's absolutely imperative to invest in these foreign territories. The IFPI report showed a 35% increase in Middle East and North African territories, a 31% increase in Latin America, and a 16% increase in Asia. Now, what's great about our company is that we can translate our content to these countries, as it's been proven that YouTube is used across these territories and worldwide. We're also incredibly excited about bringing artists from these foreign territories to our studio to work on something. Incredibly exciting. So who are we like but not like? In terms of production companies, we're looking at KXP, Colours, NPR, and record labels. We're looking at big independent labels working in London, stuff like Ninja Tune, Warp, Rough Trade. And these two areas together is what makes Room for Manoeuvre. So how are we going to get to the point where we can compete with the likes of NPR? So in terms of our subscribers, we are looking to go from 500 subscribers in Q1 up to 2,500 in Q4. And then in terms of average views, we are looking at coming up to average of 20,000 views on our videos at the end of the first year. So in terms of our short-term goals, in the first year we will generate a total net profit just under £10,000. We will sign 4 artists with a proven track record of recording live sets, and we will not pay dividends in year 1 and instead invest the profit we make in year 1 into our live streaming project. So in terms of our long-term goals, we are projecting a 30% increase in net profit in year 2, and we aim to sign 6 artists by the end of year 2. So these are some really interesting stats from the survey that we conducted for our customers. So as we can see, I mentioned earlier about collaborations, getting people's favourite bands together in a room and jam it together. This is something that I feel very passionately about. Playing in bands my whole life, I've seen the magic that can come out of musicians getting together and jamming. I think that capturing this on video would be incredibly captivating. And our customers agree. As you can see, out of 16 people, 10 said they'd love it, and 6 said they'd like it. So this was also really interesting. The majority of respondents answered yes to do you play an instrument? Now this is incredibly important for us because I see us eventually expanding into doing lessons. So we get your favourite artist to come on the YouTube channel and teach listeners a song on guitar or piano or whatever they do. And I think this would be incredibly interesting. As a musician myself, I would love to learn how my favourite artist plays a certain song. And the stats reflect this as well. 75% of people answering that they would either love it or like it. So that's it. Room for manoeuvre. Thank you.